Hello everyone, these are my hands, So I'm going to show you how to make an origami dragon. Not to sound too Blue Petery, but here is one I made earlier. I've got a piece of paper that is hot pink on this side and light pink on the other side. It usually makes things easier if you've got a piece of paper with two sides of different colour, but it is entirely up to you and just depends on how confident you feel with origami. So the first thing we're going to do is fold this diagonally, point to point, like this, so you've got a triangle, like so. Then we're going to unfold it, turn the whole sheet of paper over, and then we are going to fold it again across this side rather than that side. So the hot pink is on the outside. And there we go. And we're going to fold that out again. And we're going to keep it this side now with the light pink on this side and the hot pink on that side. So the hot pink will always be on the outside of our folds. And we are going to fold it in half rectangularly, like so. Then we're going to fold it out again, and then fold it in half the other way with the hot pink still on the outside, like that. Now we're gonna fold it out, and we've got two lines diagonally, and then a line vertically and a line horizontally. Now the reason we did the first fold with the light pink on the outside, like that, is because now these middle bits fold inwards. We're gonna fold these points up to the middle and hold them there like that. Push that point to the center, and that point to the center. So then it looks like that. So then you've got the top bit looking like that, and the bottom bit looking like that. So now we've got this line across the middle that's going to be our guideline. We've got the open end towards the right and the closed end towards the left. So with the open end, we're going to bring this point up and fold it against our guideline here. As you can see, I'm not that neat because I'm doing this at a weird angle around my camera. Then we're going to bring this flap up and do exactly the same thing into the middle along that line. Like that. Then we're going to turn the whole thing over, keeping our open end towards the right and our closed end towards the left. And we're going to do exactly the same thing on this side. Oh no, I'm not so good at this, especially not when stood around a camera. There we go. So now it looks like that on both sides. So now we are going to fold along this line here and pull this across like that. Then we're going to fold it out, turn it over, and do the same thing on the other side. Right, this bit is a little tricky. So we're going to fold these outwards from the center. We just folded them in and we're going to fold them out again because we were just making these creases. And then from our open end, we're going to take that and push it that way, like that. Let me show you again. Along that line and push it outwards like that. And because we made those creases along this part here, we've got a guideline to fold it inwards like this. Then we're going to turn it over and do the same thing where we fold it outwards, and then we're going to bring our open end up along this crease here, and then because of these creases we can fold it inwards. It's a little bit fiddly, I'll admit, and it takes some practice to get it. But then when you've got this structure down, this is what's called a bird base. So most birds in origami are made with this beginning. So now we've got an end that's firmly closed and an end that looks like that and splits apart. So now we're going to focus on the closed end, and we're going to bring this flap up here using our middle central line as our guideline and bring it up to the center to create a little point like that. And then we're going to do exactly the same on this side. Now we're going to turn the whole thing over and we're going to bring this flap down to the open end. Then we're going to bring this top flap here down to meet the bottom. Then we're going to turn the whole thing over again and bring this bottom flap up to meet the top. So then you've got something that looks like that. We're going to bring this top bit, we've got a line again to guide us across this bit from creases that we made earlier. We're going to bring this top bit across to the other side, so from left to right. Now we're going to turn the whole thing over, and we're going to do the same to this bit. We're going to bring this bit from right to left. Now we are going to make his wings, and this line here, we're going to use that as our guideline to bring this top flap here up to the centre, like so. Then again we're going to turn the whole thing over and do exactly the same with this wing here, and using this centre bit as our guideline, we're going to move it up like that. Now with this bit here, this bottom flap, we are going to use this line as our guideline and bring it up to meet it. Then again we're going to turn the whole thing over and do exactly the same with this part here. So now this is the tail, here are the wings, and here is the body and what will be the head. This is the slightly tricky part, so I'm going to lift it up to show you. So we're going to open it out slightly, open the head out so that it's flat, and then push on this crease here. We want this bit to invert. So we're going to squish those bits together to make sure it's pointing the way that we want it to, and squish those bits down. Then we need to do the same again a little bit further up to make the head, where we flatten it out, push the bit down the other way, the way that we need it to go, but then keep this bit the way that it was. And then we've got to do it once more for his little head spiky bit to go back. So we flatten it out, push it the way that we want it to go, and fold it the way that we want it to go, and then keep this bit the same way. And that is how you get his head. Now you can either keep the tail poker straight, but I usually choose to crimp my tails just to give it a little bit of character. So what you do is, looking at it from the back like this, you push the tail up that way and give it a little push, then push the tail back down this way, but not as far, so you've got a little bit like that, and push, and then you squish the whole dragon in half again. And then I'm going to do it a little bit further down as well. You give it a little push that way, and then not as far this way again, and then fold it in half again. And then the final thing I like to do is just give the wings a little curl around my finger, and there we have it. You have a little origami dragon. Those 3 wishes remain pretty much the same today as they did when I was 10 years old. Growth, Carrie. With the exception, of course, that I can tick off wish number 1 as I am currently playing Eponine in the West End's production of Les Miserables. And next spring, I'll also be able to tick off wish number 2.